Shalawam, shalawam. Alright, shalawam, shalawam. Let's get into it. This will be a quick one. Alright, let me share the live out. Shalawam. What's good? Alright, hey, shalawam, bro. Talking about I'm first. Hey, man, you funny, huh? I'm first. Yeah. Brothers get up in here on this one, man. It's something crazy. Alright, it's gonna be entitled The Dream That Took Me Out the Truth. Right? So, and I ain't, man, I'm gonna let brothers get up in here. I don't want to just tell it without brothers being in here. So I'm gonna try to wait till we get about 5 brothers in here or more. Alright. Let me go on my other page and share it. But it's not really my dream. My wife had it. And he be speaking through my wife. He be speaking to me through my wife a lot. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, dude. I'm understanding that. So, yeah, crazy dream, though. Crazy dream. When I say crazy, I mean crazy. Boy. But it's confirmation for something, and I'm going to talk about. Alright, man. Where everybody at, man? Come on. Hey, I already got another strike. Man, come on, bro. Come on. How you got another strike already? Is that a spaceship? Yes, indeed, it is. It's called a chariot. Alright. Alright, man. First and foremost, facing the east towards the holy city, all praises be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well in sincerity, taught us this truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. It's your brother Yerami Kazak back with a dream. All right, it should be edifying though. Through the spirit and power and strength of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Yahweh is the Father's true name, which means He is, He exists. Yahweh Shah is the Son's true name, which means He saves, He delivers, He is salvation. And Rakah Kadash means spirit holy. Rakah meaning spirit, Kadash meaning holy. Right? So we got 8 brothers in here now, so we'll get into it. Alright, hey, Shalawam, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Barakatham. To everybody that's viewing and that sees this later on in time, right? This will be entitled The Dream That Took Me Out of the Truth. Okay? So, it's going to be a good little dream, man. My wife had this dream this morning. Let me see if I can get my brother Yasharahla in here, man, because he was actually in the dream. Everybody was in the dream. Alliance of the 12 was in the dream. I know Alliance is charging his phone, right? But everybody was in the dream. Man, yo, I'm about to go into it, man. All right, let me see. We got 11 people. Okay. I really want Alliance and Yasharahla in here. But dang. You know what I'm saying? But when I see him tomorrow, I'll probably tell him about it. All right, so let's go into it. Okay. Let me go back to the message. Dang, looking at this now, I'm realizing how much me and my rib be talking throughout the day. Dang. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna read it verbatim. Straight verbatim. All right. So here it goes. So she said, so basically, this is my wife having a dream. I did not have the dream, but my wife had the dream. All right, now we understand. Let's get a couple scriptures. Right? Let's get Genesis 24 and 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Now, let's go from that. Let's go to Genesis 2 and 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Right? So the more you deal with your wife, intimate, and read 25, and they were both naked, the man and his woman, his wife, and were not ashamed. Right? So that barrier, that feeling of, you're of ashamed or whatever, that's gone, because that's your woman. You deal with her frequently. Y'all are one flesh. Y'all move as a unit. Okay? So I understand over really just being in this truth, and a lot of times, Yahweh will send dreams to my rib, and those dreams are I can break them down, I can understand them, and this is a moment that happened this morning, right? So I'm just reading those to let you know that you and your rib are one flesh. You and that woman is one flesh. This is marriage, all right? Intercourse, when you're dealing with a woman intimately in that situation, right? Not talking about dealing with a harlot or, just like that, or just something to get your rocks off. No, but you're dealing with a woman consistently over and over, and y'all are joined together under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Okay, that's marriage, right? Now, let's go into the dream. So this is from her perspective. This was her dreaming. So she said, so basically, I bought a flight to go see Getchen, or however you spell her name, and that's this female, this Haitian chick that I used to deal with in maybe like 2017, 2018, whatever. So when I was in the military, and I recently got in contact with her, and she's cool, old friend, but whatever. I was just talking to her a little bit, so I understand how that could cross her mind, right? So she said, I got a flight to go see her. And she said she was so mad, not because I was going to see her, but because y'all be saying now, it's not a time to be catching flights. And she said, so I was like, why are you going against your words? And then she said, so anyway, you didn't care. You was like, I was like, I'm going and I'm going to stay at her place for the weekend. So you asked me to take you to the airport. So I asked my wife to take us to the airport. And she said, but I was like, absolutely not. Why would I take you to go see your side chick? She said, so anyway, after some convincing, she ended up taking me, but somehow ended up on the flight with me. All right, so my wife ended up on the flight with me. Okay? And then she said, I got her an Airbnb, and I stayed at Getchen's house, at the female's house, right? And she couldn't sleep, so she got up and she went to a bar, my wife. But next door to the bar was a strip club. And when she was coming out of the bar, she saw me and Getchen coming out of the strip club, super drunk, and I was smoking a cigar. And I'm like, what? Like, this whole dream is like bananas, all right? And my wife didn't say anything, okay? She said to not seem like I'm hating or whatever, she just got in the car and went back to her room. So now it's time for my wife to go back home because she got to go back to work. And I said to her, that I don't think I'm going back this time. I'll see you when I get some time. But for now, I'm trying to establish a life with my new wife. This shit is crazy, right? And then Getchen was extremely happy to have me to herself for a while. Meanwhile, my first wife was mad. Alright, so she got home and weeks go by, and the elders began to hit my wife up. And this is what they said. They hit her up on TikTok like, hey, where is Yaramya? He hasn't done a live in weeks. So my wife was like, I don't know. I haven't talked to him really. So the Elder Alliance went live. So he went live and my face was on the background and it said missing person. So the brothers is having a discussion saying I ran away and that's what Eve do. And now I'm out of the truth and they need me back because it's not the same. So now they blaming my wife, right, for me not doing lives, not being in the truth anymore. All right. And then she said, so finally the season changed. So this is a whole new time. You know, and it's funny, I shared a video today that shows like when you're in a dream and the time just changes, because that's what happens in a dream. So the season changed, it's a whole new time. And she said, you had me meet you at the airport. And she said, I cried so hard at the airport saying she took you down the wrong hole. The girl, the female that I was dealing with, took me down the wrong hole and the wrong way, the wrong path. And I was extremely dazed and confused. My wife said, I cried so much, my tears filled up the airport. And that's when she woke up sweating and having to, that's when she woke up sweating. So she said, actually, I just talked to her. She said, I cried so much that the tears began to fill up the airport and it was like a flood. It was flooding the entire airport because of what the female that I was dealing with did to me, So that was a whole lot to unpack. I hope brothers followed along in it. Hey man, come on. Hey, don't come in the live on some bullshit, bro. This is for my brothers. Alright, let me mute this individual, man. Okay. But a couple scriptures came to the mind when my wife was telling me this dream, right? And the main thing came to me was focus. Was this ain't the time for all that other stuff. This ain't the time to get distracted in this truth. This ain't the time to go back and move back in those type of things. Now, another thing, something else that happened, what did she say? Dang, where is that? Where is it at? Oh, she said Yasharahla was in the dream and he was the main one talking. And he was like, oh, Yaramya always talk about his rib and she ran him away. Just wicked. So it was like the brothers did a live on me saying that I left the truth because of a female. Right? So that's wild. And Yahweh Ratazah, that never happens. I don't want that spirit on me. So already, what we going to get? We going to go to Proverbs 31:3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Right? It's not a sin to deal with other women. Most definitely it's not. Right? It's lawful, but it's not expedient. Now, if it becomes a hassle and it's not in your budget and it's gonna take you away from this truth, then do not go down that path. Right? And that's what I'm seeing in that dream. That old girl that I was dealing with, might take me down the wrong type of path or whatever it may be. Which, understanding, I'm not. If it intervenes with this truth, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going down that path. Understanding that. Yeah, some dreams are fears, and that's what it was jumping out to my wife. It's a fear of her, because at the end of the dream, what she lost me, and I got hurt. That's one of her fears in that sense. When knowing that multiple wives is a thing that we can do. So I'm seeing she doesn't want me to get hurt. So your insecurities will jump out in your dreams, right? These things, your deepest fears will jump out in your dreams. So in the dream, she saw me get hurt, and it was dramatized because she said I cried so much I filled up the airport, and the airport began to flood. Now I know me right now. I'm not about to cry with no bitch. I know me right now. I'm not. So, but I understand. The dream was telling her she doesn't want to see me get hurt by another woman, and that in this flesh, that's understandable. Okay, in this flesh, you cannot expect that wife, your first wife, to not be envious and jealous of the second wife, etc., etc. That'll be something they have to fight over. That'll be something they got to fight the flesh about, because this society has raised them up to that's my man. You know what I'm saying? It has raised them up in that sense. You know what I'm saying? So I hear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. He gave me a terrifying vision this afternoon, Akian. Khan, Ak, if you want to come up and share it, you free too. All right? So the dream was a warning, and it's more so to stay on track and to not allow a woman to distract you, to not allow a woman to take you away from this truth, right? That's extremely important. So, stay focused and stay on track. To all you brothers, right? Stay focused, stay on track. Do not let anything take you away. And that goes also to what? Because what's a woman? Let's go to Proverbs, the 6th chapter. In verse 23, for the commandment is a lamp and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life, to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman, a doctrine. All right? Lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. What is America? John, the Revelator, saw America as a woman in scarlet, a woman in red, a beautiful woman. He admired after Babylon, this woman. You know what I'm saying? So you can't look at what this world is offering you and admire at it, and because you might fall into it and it'll pull you away from the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to keep your stability and your foundation, right? I do. Khan, you could come up, Ak. You know what I'm saying? I got about 20 minutes. You could come up. Khan, Ak said, Zaquan said, that dream is for all of us. Keep Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai first. This is not the time to expand. This is not the time. Let's go to Micah 2:10. Right? This is not your rest. Brothers should know that off rip. Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And more so, it's telling you, man, let Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai do it if it's meant to be. Don't force anything. You don't want to force something and you want to bring it back. Just because in my mindset, I'm talking to old girl, I'm like, I'm better, I'm wiser, I'm stronger, I'm tougher. I got more finances, I could deal with this, boom, boom, boom. Maybe it could work this time, right? But it's not the case. It didn't work the first time, probably ain't gonna work the second time, okay? It didn't work the first time because Yahweh didn't want it to work, So you gotta really, if it's supposed to be something, let Yahweh have it happen. Let that Isaiah 4:1 come to be. Let it come to pass. You can't force Isaiah 4:1. Oh, that's gonna be detrimental. That's gonna destroy you, right? You ain't supposed to bring this stuff to pass. Yahweh's gonna bring it to pass. So more so in my mind, in the dream, it's like just let things flow. Don't try to force anything. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much it, man. Like I said, it's a real short one. But I'm going to call this the dream that took me out of the truth. So stay focused on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. I would really stress that to you. Stay focused on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And for brothers that do got ribs, if your wife, if Yahweh gives your rib a dream, analyze that dream and go into it. Because most of my wife's dreams are towards me. You know, Yahweh speaks to her through dreams to get to me more so. Because I could say, I probably dream like, and we know we dream every night, but dreams that I can remember, I probably dream like maybe like twice a week or once a week, something like that. But when I'm fasting, I say dreams normally come like a day or two after I fast. Normally, you know, a dream will come. Because in the fast, I'll be praying and asking for a day or two after I fast. Normally, you know, a dream will come. Because in the fast, I'll be praying and asking. But some brothers don't dream, you know, and that's nothing, you know, that's nothing to say. Like, it is what it is, you know, so. Because sometimes I go weeks without dreaming. Well, dreams that I can't remember. But that dream right there, that was a stay on the right path type dream. Don't let your desires of the world pull you to a place where you aren't supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Because you may desire multiple wives, but don't let it pull you away from the truth, right? Because that was crazy, man. You know, that was crazy. So that was the dream, man, and it was crazy. It was crazy. But it was a beautiful one. You know. And the funniest part though, she said y'all went live, had my face on the live, talking about this brother is missing. He ain't did a live in weeks because of a woman. This shit was hilarious, man. Hey, Shalawam, Balak, Shalawam. But I had a little dream. My wife had a dream, and we just went over it. But it was wild. It was basically, to summarize the whole video, don't allow a woman, regardless if it be a physical woman or a philosophy, a doctrine, affairs of the world, lust, things of the flesh that you want, you know what I'm saying, that you don't need. Don't allow those things to pull you away from the truth. That's what I'm getting from that dream, and that's my understanding of it. Do not allow something to pull you, because at the end of the dream, what was I doing? I was crying. She said I cried so much that I filled up the airport. So that's me understanding I left the truth. So that was the sorrow that I had in me. You leave the truth, that you're going to have that type of sorrow because you know better. That's what brothers got to understand. I cried so much that it began to flood the airport. She said we was about to drown, that I was crying so much. So that's the feeling of when you lose this truth. You lose because I lost the Holy Spirit. That's what I'm understanding. Due to a woman, you know? So take these dreams, like the brother Ariyah said, like Zaquan said, take this as a warning to all of us to stay focused and not let anything pull you away from this truth, man. All right? So, hey, with that being said, man, that was pretty much it. I'm going to wrap it up. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope this was edifying to all that did hear. If you did not hear, you know, I'm going to put it up on the YouTube. Most likely it'll be up tomorrow. But stay focused, stay deeply rooted in this truth. And I'm going to get one scripture to wrap it up. All right. This one came to mind. This is Revelations 3:11. Matter of fact, let's start up. Okay, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, that's what you got to do. And also, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So because you keep this word and you keep this understanding, you do the works. You know, the brother Ariyah in here, the brother Abriyah, nothing shall separate us from the love of Yahweh. I saw you in your story saying, I got to do my lessons. Do it, do your lessons. You know, get into it. Because every time you do a lesson, you fighting off demons. You know, you building yourself up. You building your spirit. You building your confidence. You're gaining that experience. So get to it. All right. What we want to see You know what I'm saying? Because we want to see less college football and more lessons. I want to see that. Less college football and more lessons. And you know what I'm saying? Because you got a zeal. So keep applying yourself and keep going strong, God. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing. So, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which, what's that? The C-hip, the RFID C-hip, which will come upon, what? Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay? That's going to try every single individual on this planet. All right? Not just Americans. No. The beast system is going to try everybody on this planet. From Australia to Alaska. All right? From Russia to Chile. Okay? So it's going to try everybody. Verse 11 is the point. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So let nothing take that crown which you are bound to receive. You know what I'm saying? That's it's there for you. It's there for you. You just gotta qualify for it. It's there for you. You gotta do what you gotta do to get it. Make that call into the election sure. Do these things and you will never fall. So walk in the correct way. Walk in the correct path, man. Do the works with all confidence and trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And know that he hears everything. He sees everything. He judges. He weighs the spirits. Proverbs 16 and 3. He weighs the spirits. He weighs the insides. All right? Or that's Proverbs 16 and 2. He weighs the spirits. So you do a lesson. Let's say you do a lesson, 0 people on it. He still heard it. You do a lesson, 1 person on it. He still heard it. You go out on the corner, nobody comes up. Nobody's on it. He still heard it. Prophesy to the wind. It's still getting heard. Stop thinking that just because nobody's watching, nobody's watching. Somebody's always watching, right? You gotta understand this. And then you put it up, you post it up. It be videos of the elders, man. We go back and watch from years ago. But we go back and watch them. Those breakdowns are timeless. Do you understand what we do right here? This is timeless. The heathens, all this shit gonna get wiped out. But if YouTube did not get wiped out, and our pages don't get, but they will, understand this. But if they didn't, the heathens could come back and look at these lessons when they're learning. They could, I watched that Elder Apostle Tahar breakdown on this. Yo, that really got me. You know what I'm saying? They could go back and look at this stuff. So, matter of fact, I'm wrapping up though, for real. But let's get this Isaiah 55 and 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Right? The dream. Okay? Yahweh gave her a dream. She related to me as a woman's supposed to do. Right? As a woman is supposed to do. And then what? A man is supposed to bring it out. That's how it's supposed to go. Women, you're supposed to relay your dreams. And then a man is supposed to bring it out. Because the man can teach on it. My wife didn't know she don't know the scriptures to bring out on it. She didn't know to go here and go there, boom, boom, boom. Right? So she relayed that's order. That's called order. But some of you women, you want to jump the gun and you want to teach. You want to jump into that position, that role that you don't supposed to occupy. You know what I'm saying? So that's messed up. You're not understanding divine order or why you are set up as a woman. That means you don't understand your position. You know, and that's a very down here. It's important to understand your role and your position and to not try to be something that you are not, because you won't know how to apply yourself in that position. All right. The brother said, I watched the video from 5 years ago, A Great Millstone. See? It's all there. It's all there. Hey, the brother had the same scripture, Revelations 3 and 11. That's the spirit. You know? I get that for you, Prince Symbol. Let me get that. Proverbs 4, 10 to 13. And it reads, Hear, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of thy life shall be many. Keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. Your years shall be many, and they shall be prosperous. Right? Your ways will be prosperous. If you meditate on thy word day and night, then your ways will be prosperous. And you will come into success. Joshua 1, what's that, 8? I believe so, loosely quoting. So once you begin to keep... Look, understand this, because this is facts. All right? Once you begin to keep the laws, commandments, and statutes and serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, then your ways become prosperous. They were not prosperous before when you was in the world. Yeah, you might have made a couple thousand here. You might have had a good job. And you might have had all this. But your ways wasn't truly prosperous. Because Yahweh was just setting you up to destroy you, to bring you down. Once you started coming into the laws, commandments, and statutes, once you started coming into this truth, then your ways are prosperous. Because now you have a true understanding of your purpose on this planet. You did not have a true understanding beforehand. You was just day to day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, go to work, come home, take a bath, read, whatever, play video games, spend time with the family, go to sleep, go back to work. What am I doing here? Now you know, when you in this truth, what you are doing here. We are waiting on our king to come back. We have to make our calling to the election sure. We have to feed the sheep. We have a purpose. You had no purpose beforehand, man. You didn't have no purpose. You were just out there lost. You were just lost, just walking from here to there. As it says in Amos 8 and 11. All right, going downward. They shall walk from sea to sea, seeking the word. That means people to people. They're trying to find it because they're lost. Because they never clinged onto it when they had the chance to. According to Proverbs 1 and 20. Wisdom cried in the street, but they didn't care. Right? I don't even supposed to be preaching, man. I gotta go. Verse 11. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in right paths. When thou goest, thy steps shall not be straiteneth. And when thou runneth, thou shalt not stumble. Because you're being prosperous. Because you came into that discipline of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Take fast hold of instruction. Hold on to it. Make wisdom your spouse. Take fast hold of instruction. Let her not go. Keep her, for she is thy life. You got to cleave onto it, man. Once you start getting this truth, hold on to it. Don't let nothing take your crown. Don't let nothing pull you away. Hey, that was a beautiful precept, bro. All right, that was a beautiful precept, man. You know, the water for that. Because I ain't never touched that one. That was a beautiful one. All right. And at the end of the day, what's that mean? That means you got to wrestle with your flesh. You got to wrestle with your mind. The mind is deceitful, is what? The heart is wicked above all things. Who can know it? Jeremiah 17 and 9. So that means it's going to be demons coming in, jumping in your mind. It's going to be thoughts, fleshly thoughts, lustful thoughts, things of that nature, right? That's designed to pull you away from the truth. These are temptations. These are challenges. These are obstacles to pull you away, to pull you back where you don't belong, right? Man, let's wrap it up, though, for real. All right, and shalom to everybody. The brother said, I'm going to watch the Elders Breakdowns video once I jump off here. And that's what you should be doing. That's beautiful, you know. GMS Elders the Milk, as the brother Kakama always bring out, right? GMS Vault, GMS Homework, shoot, man, you got, and we done did a lesson on it, but we could do it again if brothers need to know videos and pages and that you need to follow. On my page, you got the second pinned video is the elders, and then you got other great men of Israel. Okay? So, you should be following those pages as well. You should be following the elders most definitely. All right? And then I would say men in your region that are around you, because these are the men that you're going to have to, you most likely gonna be with, right? When everything pops off. These are the men, okay? In that region. This is why you should know who's in your region. You should know these brothers. All right? Not saying you gotta join a camp or whatever, but you at least need to be familiar with them and in contact with them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you should know. All right, I get that Galatians 5:16, and we are ended with that. All right. Are there brothers in Orlando, Florida? Oh yeah, most definitely. I believe so. Let me look it up. But hey, you should have been asked me that. I'll make sure I try to get you in contact. But I'm pretty sure, because I know it's brothers down there in Florida already. But I'm going to put that on my to-do list. Let me see. Yeah, you got GMS Orlando down there. They was live. Let me see. I don't know where they at. But, yeah, GMS Orlando. All right. They was live 5 days ago. It looked like they do camp every Saturday. How they supposed to. So, yeah. Yeah, you got GMS Orlando down there. So, yeah. Follow that page on YouTube. GMS Orlando. Yeah, I know it's backwards, but it's GMS Orlando. Follow them. You know, watch their videos. And just, hey, when they come live, Shalawam. You know what I'm saying? Tap in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Barakatham, and show yourself to be a student. Show yourself to watch, right? And then, after a while, if you got the time and all that, ask them where the camp is so you can come down. You know what I'm saying? So take it slow, But, yeah, the brother Adar Gabar said it's multiple pages, and that's what this brotherhood is here for, to get brothers in contact with real brothers, right? That's what the brotherhood is here for. The brotherhood is here for correction, for exhortation, to have our brothers walk in the straight way, the straight path, to lead our brothers to that greener pasture, man. That's what the brotherhood is here for. So most definitely, we're going to get you right. All right, let's get that Galatians, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. All right, 5:16. And it reads, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh." Right? And a carnal man, what? He couldn't look at a dream and understand what that dream meant. A carnal man would be like, it's just a silly dream. It doesn't mean anything. Right? But you got to analyze these. Now, that's not saying that every dream means something. Some dreams is just dreams, right? Some dreams is just dreams, but some dreams do mean something. And I discerned that this dream was a warning to me to stay focused, right? And keep my mind, tunnel visioned on this truth, okay? Keep my mind tunnel vision on this truth and on this ministry at the end of the day, and don't worry about all that other stuff. The desires of my heart will be given to me, So that's it at the end of the day, man. So, hey, with that being said, we here to gather the sincere, exactly. We here to gather the diligent. Hey, we here to gather the, yeah, man. Hey, that's a lesson right there. We here to gather the sincere and the diligent. All right? I'm going to copyright that right now so Adar can't steal it from me. All right? We here to gather the sincere and the diligent. That's the lesson tomorrow right there. We here to gather the sincere and the diligent. Nah, I'm playing. But that's beautiful. We are here to gather the sincere and the diligent. Because that word sincere, which I stress so many times, man. Are you sincere or are you sin fake? right? You got a couple individuals be faking their ass off, right? Sincerity is like Mr. AI Music. That brother's sincere, man. Like, that brother hit me in the DMs asking me about this, asking me about that, asking. And that's what you need to do. You cannot bug. It ain't no bug, you know what I'm saying? Ask the questions. Ain't no way you could bug us. Right? You can't bug, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, if I don't reply, I'm gonna reply later on when I get up. Or if I don't got the answer, I'm gonna get the answer. That's what we gotta be, you know? So, and that shows sincerity. When you got those questions, when you got that understanding, when you're seeking, when you're being diligent, when you're doing your own studies, when you're going into this, you're going into that. That shows sincerity. And it's not to show it to men, it's not to appeal to men, but it's really to show Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah that you love him. You got to show that love, man. Love is an action word. Faith is an action word, right? But hey, man, you know, I get into it. But hey, I'm going to wrap it up. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops once again. And shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. All right, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining that self, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability, not being over-righteous, all right, maintaining themselves and making their call into the election sure. Right, the water for every precept, every input, everything, man. May the calling of the election be upon you, brother's house. Those that are sincere and doing what you're supposed to do in this ministry, man. All right, as always, Shalawam Yasharahla. And a Baba ball to this wicked kingdom. Okay. The brother said, should I help my daughter's mom outside of child support? See, that's a good one. See, well, look, really child support is unlawful. Understanding that. Going into the way that Elder Malcolm brought it out and understanding that whole situation is unlawful. Right? And a woman, you know, understand your rib or whatever probably was not in the truth. So it's just what it is. It's just what we was taught, what we was raised up, right? My mom's had my dad on child support. It is what it is, you know. But a woman going to get in the courts involved, that's all off. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, we ain't no marriage counselors or nothing like that. We don't supposed to do all that. But keep it cordial, do your thing. You know, and be a real dad as you know, and that's showing that you diligent and you want to do that. You know, do what you're supposed to do, and hey, Yahweh willing, she'll take that off. She'll go to the courts and get that shit took off. You know what I'm saying? Because the scriptures also talk about reconciling, right, and getting back and working that out. You know. Because Yahweh Ratazah, you don't know what Yahweh has planned for that. But you want to keep it cordial, you want to keep it cool, you want to keep it calm, and have no drama in the midst of that. Because having a seed, that's your seed. You know what I'm saying? Having a seed with an individual, that's a lifelong commitment. You know what I'm saying? So you want it to be no drama in that. So, you know, do what you do. Yeah. I would say if it's pertaining to the child, take care of that child, right? If it's pertaining to the woman and she left, whatever, that's it. Give her a bill of divorce. You know, y'all no longer together. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to reconcile with that and come back together. You know what I'm saying? So that's all up on you. And let me see, the brother telling you, if it's to help your daughter, then do it. That's what I'm saying, right? At the end of the day, don't neglect that daughter. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your seed. But the terms of child support, that shit is wicked. That shit is set up by Esau Edom. Kakama said, I can't tell you what to do, but I can tell you what I would do. But yeah, bro, you know, rent money. What I'm saying. She ain't. The thing is, I could tell you also what I would do. If she's not under your authority, you know, and y'all ain't dealing no more, then You know, like I said, as a matter of fact, let's hit a scripture. Let's hit a scripture. Because this is all on you. This is you. This is your decision. Right? I'm going to tell you what the scriptures say, though. All right? This is Ecclesiasticus 25 and 26. If she go not as thou wouldst have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. So, if she does not move in the ways that's desiring to you, right? She's a problem. She's an issue. You know? She committed adultery, things of that nature. Then cut her off from thy flesh. Give her a bill of divorce and send her on thy way. Now, if you want to reconcile, you want to still deal with her, and you know, you're going to deal with her and she's only going to deal with you, then do your thing. You know what I'm saying? But if she's dealing with other dudes, let that shit go. Right? You got to apply these scriptures. You got to know what adultery is at the end of the day, and how a woman is only supposed to be dealing with you. If a woman is dealing with multiple men, don't pay that bitch rent money, man. You know what I'm saying? Salakia for my language, but don't pay her rent money. You know what I'm saying? But that's you know, that's what I'm saying. Be careful, because you don't want to get into the position where that's a reoccurring thing. That's over and over. Now she's expecting it. You understand what I'm saying? So James said, so what if the bride commit adultery after she leave? Let her be. She gone. Right? Once she commit adultery, it's done. It's over. You let that go. You let that go. Yeah, that's not your problem. It's done. You gave her a bill of divorce. That's no longer your issue. That's no longer your... Let's go to Deuteronomy. No matter of fact, Exodus. That's no longer your issue. And these women is hard-headed, man. All right, this is Exodus 21 and 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage, shall he not diminish? So you dealing with, that means you got to provide for both of these women, right? And if he do not these things unto her, then shall she go out free without money. Now, on her part, it's how it ended her offense, or why you no longer want to deal with her. So that is for you to understand. You know why y'all not together. So you have to analyze that, and you have to decide, you know, the correct path of it. That's why I keep saying, if you want to reconcile and she's not dealing with nobody else, then, okay, pay her rent. Take care of her, because you still want to deal with her as a wife. You know what I'm saying? You still want to deal with her as a wife. But if you don't want to deal with her as a wife, then you no longer have to get her food, raiment, or duty of marriage, because you have to give her a bill of divorce and send her on her way. You know? So don't put yourself in, like we say in the Bay, a sucker position to get sucked on. Don't put yourself in that position. Because if a woman can suck on you, she will. And you know what I mean. She will suck you dry for everything that you got. His pocket's fat. Let me get some of that. You know what I'm saying? She said she gonna pay me back. All right, well, that's up to you. You decided. If you believe her, you know, that's up to you. Like I say, we ain't no marriage counseling. And yeah, as the brother Ariel said, no simping. If y'all got an agreement, shoot, hey, I would tell you go as far as get a contract. Write up a contract, have her sign that, have it on wax. So if she does not pay you back, you take her ass to court. I ain't playing. I am not playing. Right? I am not playing about that. Okay? But that's to your discretion. That's to your discretion. You know, use wisdom in that situation. All right. But as the scriptures say, if you want to reconcile with her, reconcile with her. If she's not messing with anybody else. But if you don't want to deal with her, then you're not under obligation to pay her rent, because that's no longer your rib, that's no longer your wife. What you are obligated to is to take care of that kid, right? That's what you're obligated to do, because that's your seed. So you're obligated to take care of that kid. You ain't obligated to take care of her if you cut her off. Y'all not dealing with one another no more. All right? Yeah, get it notarized. What you mean, Yaramia 2025? Yeah, get it notarized, man. Nah, but for real, like my mom's taught me that. My mom studied law a little bit. So, contract, stuff like that, right? You wanna move smooth, so therefore she can't just take the money and not pay you back. Cause man, look, man, I'll tell you, I dealt with a couple toxic females. These women are shiesty. Alright? Move smooth. She's providing a roof over my daughter's head. What kind? If you can't, because I know you be on the road a lot, and that's why we saying a lot of brother situations is different. Alright? So if that's something that if that's for your daughter to be maintained, then take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Take care of that. You was gonna pay it in child support. Okay, all right. That's a decision you can make. If your daughter stays there, and that's like, we see it like as a babysitter, in a sense, then that's what it is. Take care of it, right? But don't, point blank period, at the end of it, don't get took advantage of. And that's what we saying. Don't get took advantage of. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm going to wrap it up right there, man. So, hey, Shalawam Yasharahla, as always, a Bible ball to this wicked kingdom. May Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah destroy this bitch yesterday, man. And Shalom.